Every time it's on everything, alive, you cheesing, I'm cheddaring. No matter the form of the weaponry, gotta keep stalking my destiny. Time's getting worse, I'm bettering. My sentence secure, ain't no tethering. I ain't gon' stop till I rest in peace and they put some hold on my great lettering. Every time, I ain't lay back unless I'm in my 300. Circle is little, cause I keep it 100. Minus my issues, I'm so home, I'm on it. 100% ain't enough, I get 200. Every time, know what I'ma run from. I'm that one opponent, you don't want none from. Manual vet where my strength get pumped from. So let's go ride to the child of God. Standing toe to toe, hot now. The Lord is with me, you can't fight the rock. I got the sauce, you want my to hide. The destiny mine, I'ma stalk it out. The strength is after you just bought it out. Your giant carcass, I'ma walk it out. You gon' be wishing that you wouldn't have come me out. Cause every time be on that throw down, let's get us a showdown. Come and get some, I got another go around. Big as it is, so hard they go down. Since destiny something we can't change, but quitting will stop you from great gains. Faith will make capable great things. I done decided to break pain. Lives around and call me on my A game, so speed like the A-train. The group that I'm stalking on, I gotta maintain. I'm by myself, I don't gang bang. When you wanna get in my crown, then I'm down every time, not just now and then. Yeah, I heard you got your thousands, but me, yo, I got my 10,000s. God gave me dreams doing that, I would chest it.
I'm steady chasing, I'm staying focused on what I'm gonna be. I'm making it up, but I won't lose hope. 'Cause I'm still stuck in my destiny. I'm still stuck in my destiny.
Hey. I don't know why I said it like that, but what's up, y'all? Welcome to Tea Time with Tara, live and on air. I am your host, Tara M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. Here we discuss business and Bible basics. We believe you have a voice and it needs to be heard. If you are not watching this live on my YouTube channel, do me a favor. Head over to YouTube, type in Stalk Your Destiny, and hit the subscribe button, y'all. Also hit the notification bell so that you can be notified every time I go live. And while you're there on my YouTube channel at Stalk Your Destiny, check out season 1, season 2, and the start of season 3 of the Tea Time with Tara show, where I interview guests and ask them what they need on their journey to stalking their destiny. Okay, again, I am Tara M. Williams. This is Tea Time with Tara, live and on air. Thank you for tuning in today. All right, y'all. Let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from. Let me know how you're doing. I hope you guys listen. I remembered to get my cup of tea today for the show. So I hope you have your favorite drink. I hope that you also have your journals. Okay, I got my Tea Time Daily Journal here with me, which I use for my affirmations, but we'll get to that. And so I hope you have your journals, and I hope you have a pen with you. I also hope you have something that I forgot. I forgot to bring my Bible down here, so I'll use my other phone when we get to that portion of the show. But I hope you have your Bibles if you have the time. I know most of you listen on the move. And so thank you for tuning in also. But let me know in the chat or in the comments where you're tuning in from and how are you doing? I'm doing good, y'all. Last week was a rough week and today has been a good day. What I love about having a rough time is that, when you get a word from God to just sit in his presence, just, go through some things that maybe God has spoken to you in the past, go through some prayer requests that you may have had in the past, or whatever it is, reflective time with God, right? What I love about that is that it replenishes you and you may not even feel it at the time. Okay. So last week was rough for me. Yesterday, God, and it was rough and beautiful at the same time. Two things can't exist at the same time. Okay. But God had me, just sit down with him yesterday and go over all of my journals and things like that. And so in doing that, today I feel focused. Today I feel clear. Today I have prayer strategy for the things that I was battling with. Okay. And I feel like I have a way forward. Okay. That weight was lifted. Okay. So this is business and Bible basics, y'all. But real talk, don't be shy about spending time with God and getting in God's presence, especially when you need to have a weight lifted. Okay. So now let me know what your affirmations are for this week. Okay. What are your affirmations for this week? What do you need? What is your I am, I will, I have? Okay. for this week? And what are you declaring for this day? What type of day is today going to be? Okay, for you. Be sure to comment those affirmations below. Be sure to put them in the chat, depending on where you're tuning in today. And let me know, what are your affirmations for the day? Now, I did not actually write any affirmations for today. I started working around 7 and I forgot to actually do affirmations. So I'm going to read a couple of my older affirmations that maybe I haven't shared with you all. Okay. So I am exactly where God needs me to be. I am exactly where God needs me to be. And I'll share about that right now is that I told a friend of mine right before the show, I let her know that we are always in right alignment with God, because God can use any and everything that we go through, any and every turn that we take. We are always exactly where He needs us to be, especially if we are willing to be used by God. Because if we're in the wrong place, He can use that as a testimony to change someone else's life. He can use that as a time for us to actually help someone else who may be also in that wrong place as well. And if we're in the right place, then we can move forward in elevation. So no matter what, I am exactly where God needs me to be. Um, oh, this says I will do Tea Time with Tara on a stage for men and women. Okay, y'all. Y'all think this is the platform? I will do Tea Time with Tara on stage for men and women. And for those of you who don't know, Tea Time with Tara has been an in-person gathering since 2016. And I used to do it separately, where we had a session for women, we had a session for men, and then we had what I call grown-up conversations, which was the Tea Time with Tara for both men and women. Okay. And those were all private sessions. And so open to the community, they were open publicly, but held privately. And so this says, I will do Tea Time with Tara on stage for men and women. You can declare what you will do in your life as well. Okay. So don't be afraid of these affirmations, and don't be afraid to also revisit them as you go forward, so that you can really walk these things out, y'all. Stalking your destiny is literally connecting you to your destiny one step at a time. So just don't skip steps. Even going back and looking over your affirmations. If you affirm it and you believe it, repeat it. Okay. If you affirm it and you believe it, repeat it. Go back and see what you have said or what you desire for your life and stuff. Okay. So I have the opportunity to do all God said I would do, because His promises are yes and amen. I have the opportunity to do all God said I would do. Again, because His promises are yes and amen. God is not a man that He should lie. And actually, looking back through my journals yesterday, I went through a lot of journals that I have. Um, and looking back through my journals yesterday, God repeated Himself over the years. Over the years, God has said the same thing to me, different prayer requests, different questions and concerns that I had. And over the years, God's word did not change. His response did not change. Even the scriptures that were given, of course, it was a lot of different scriptures over the time, depending on what I was asking. However, I saw a parallel in what was spoken repeatedly to me. So I have the opportunity to do all that God said I would do and be all that God has called me to be. Let me know your affirmations. Put them in the chat, put them in the comments, and make sure that you do them for yourself, guys. Today doesn't have to be the only day that you affirm yourself. You can affirm yourself every day, especially if you need it. Okay. And so here I declared that today will be a pink day. Okay. Filled with hope, love, faith, and joy, peaceful and beautiful. And so I'm declaring that for you and myself today, that today will be a pink day filled with hope, love, faith, joy, peaceful and beautiful. Okay. So those are our affirmations. Now, I put my affirmations in my Tea Time Daily Journal, you guys. And if you haven't gotten your copy, you can go to my website for this. That's www.stalkyourdestiny.com/shop for any of my books. Okay. For any of my books. But this is the Tea Time Daily Journal. It is on my website. Okay. And this is a 30-day journal for inspiration and affirmations. Okay. For you to check in with yourself every day. How are you feeling? Do you just need to vent? That Tea Time Daily Journal is for you. Okay. So our food for thought quote today. Let's see. Mm. And I'm sorry, guys, our affirmations were sponsored by Tea Time Enterprises LLC. The world needs all you have to offer. And our food for thought quote today is brought to you by Stalk Your Destiny, connecting you to your destiny one step at a time. Okay. And so our food for thought quote says this: I am allowed to make new decisions each and every day about the direction that my life will go. I am allowed to make new decisions each and every day about the direction that my life will go. Do you know how people want to like this is so it's so amazing, y'all. I wrote these out in December. I wrote my timesheets for January out in December. But what I find amazing is how God's, again, his word is, it can be parallel across different areas of your life, right? So I went to church yesterday and my pastor was talking about making your past an idol, right? And so I'm reminded of that right now because people really do want to hold on to you. And some of the things that I was saying as my pastor was teaching, or I was, was thinking as my pastor was teaching yesterday, was that, holding on to things of the past is not even always just the bad stuff. Like it's not stuff that you're addicted to. It's not things like that. You can be holding on to the good parts of you that you lost, the things you thought would last forever, right? Like for me, being a wife and a stay-at-home mom. Okay. That's not something I wanted forever. Don't get me wrong. Being a stay-at-home mom, not forever. However, the way that I thought from that dynamic that my family would be today and in the future, I had to let that go because life changed. So I had to let that go. And it's okay to say, well, it's okay to let that go. I'm gonna say that it's okay to let that go because I don't want to go too far ahead of myself. It's okay to let that go. And then you have people who just love you, love you, love you when you're down, right? And you need all of that love. You need all of that support. You need all of that care and consideration. And a question that I ask some of my friends is, if they love you when you're down, can they love you? Do they have the capacity to love you when you're up again? When you're up again, because when you're down, you make different decisions. And when you're good and healthy and happy and whole, you make different decisions. And so certain people will love you, be around you, cherish you, and do all the things when you are down and out. Okay. And it is because, like, I'm saying it as if it's coming from a good place with those people, right? They genuinely care when you're down and out. They genuinely are there for you. And those are people you love, right? You cherish those people. You're grateful for those people. But then when you get up, they're like, why don't you just come stay over here? Why don't you just come be with me? Why can't we just stay the same? Why can't things stay the same? Well, things can't stay the same. Hold on, I dropped my pen. I'm pretty. Okay, things can't stay the same because I changed. Things can't stay the same because life has changed, and so I'm allowed to make new decisions each and every day about the direction that my life will go. Okay, you're allowed to make new decisions every day with that because who wants to stay stuck? Once you stop growing and stop changing, you become stagnant. When you become stagnant, you're just dying. We're already dying each day, y'all. So why not live well? Okay. Why not choose the direction you want your life to go each day? You have that option and that opportunity. Okay. To go forward, to be who you want to be, to do whatever you need to do to better your life, your situation, or your circumstances. Okay. You don't have to stay down or stay around the folks who loved you then because they want you to stay there. People who love you but hinder you have to stay where they are if they can't grow with you. I'm going to say that part again, too. People who love you but hinder you must stay where they are if they cannot grow with you. Okay? Because they become the resistance to us walking into our destiny and our purpose. They become the pull, right? And so I would rather God be the pull than that. Don't pull me back to where you are because you don't want to go where I'm going. I would just ask God to cut the rubber band and leave you where you are and still love you, but I will leave you there. Okay? Because you have the right to change your mind. You have the right to make a new decision about the direction that your life will go. Okay? So if you take nothing else from what I'm saying today, take that. Okay. Now our devotion for today, like I said, I left my Bible, so I'm gonna pull it up on my phone. But our devotion scripture comes from Romans chapter 6, verse 8 through 11. Now, y'all stay with me through this because y'all know sometimes these scriptures be really messing us up what they say. Sometimes it's a mouthful. But stay with me on this, of course, because I'm going to take it in a different direction. Okay. As soon as my phone acts like it wants to work, I'm just waiting on it to come back. It's flashing. Okay, so let me pull it up. Romans chapter 6. This phone is really clowning with me. Romans chapter 6, y'all, for those of you who might be looking it up. Romans chapter 6, and I'm going to read verse 8 through 11. I'm trying to pull it up on my phone right now. It is really giving me a hard time, which tells me that this is a good word for today. Okay? Because in a minute, I'm going to run and get my Bible if it keeps messing with me. Un momento, I'm still here. Okay, I'm going to just, whatever. My phone's not working properly right now, so I'm just going to tell you what it's about. Romans chapter 6, verse 8 through 11 is about being alive with Christ and being dead to our sins, okay? It's literally about dying to sin, and living for Christ, which is something that I think we all struggle with. Because you can identify one sin and then you find out that you got more, more and more and more or whatever. And so it's always like a work in progress, to shed and keep off, those things and also live for Christ. Right. And so, in doing so, again, this is still about making progress. This is still about the fact that I don't want to be who I used to be anymore. Or yeah, maybe I did do that yesterday, but I don't want to do it today. Like it's like, okay, y'all, Mardi Gras is coming up, right? And it is not about Mardi Gras. This is just an example, okay? Mardi Gras is literally Fat Tuesday. It's literally Fat Tuesday, right? It's the day where you feast, right? You eat your last meal pretty much before you begin the 40-day fast. For the season of, I want to say Lent. Is it Lent? I believe it's the season of Lent. Because we have Ash Wednesday. Ash Wednesday directly after Fat Tuesday, which is Mardi Gras. Ash Wednesday is where the fasting usually begins, right? And the 40-day fast, because you're fasting until Christ's resurrection, right? So we're alive with sin on Fat Tuesday, right? Eating, gluttonous, whatever, right? All of that. Which I don't think that that's what it's promoting, because I'm not sure that that's the tradition of it anyway. However, this is what people do: eat as much as they can, get ready for a fast, right? Or in any case too, when you're getting ready to fast, you kind of eat the junk food or your favorite foods or whatever it is you want before you give things up, okay? And so we have that Fat Tuesday, Mardi Gras, and then we have Ash Wednesday, right? And so we we indulge, right, in the things that maybe we shouldn't, and then we sacrifice with Christ, okay? Or for Christ's sake, we sacrifice, okay? And so with that, you're allowed to make those choices. You're allowed to say, I want to dedicate these next 40 days to Christ. No matter who agrees with you or who doesn't, you're allowed to say, I want to fast. You're allowed to say, I want to pray more. I want to grow in my relationship with God. And I may not know which way to go, but I want to give this a shot. I want to give me a chance. You are allowed to bet on you, to take a chance with you. Okay. You are allowed to do those things. And then here, I wrote down here, it says, a process of elimination of what no longer serves you, right? So a process of elimination of what no longer serves you includes, like, okay, if I'm deciding to change my life, if I'm deciding to fast, or whatever it is I'm deciding to do, and just growing in my life, going all the way back to the food for thought quote too. if I want to move forward in my life, there's a process that's going to take place, right? And that process can include, like, okay, I want to change my routine, right? Most people try to adjust their routines in some type of ways. They may want to wake up earlier, they may want to stay up later, or, adjust their time to go to bed so that they can wake up earlier, right? Some people want to maximize, like me, I want to maximize my peak time, my peak time of day. Okay. And so things are a process of elimination. If you get close enough to me, you'll recognize that I do a process of elimination with the people in my life almost annually, because I am constantly wanting to, like, deeply connect with people. I am constantly wanting to know, where do I fit in your life? How can I help you? How can I support you? How can I love you? And in the same frame, I'm wondering, where do you belong here? Like, where do you go? Where do I put you? Right? Because I'm very good at compartmentalizing, and I can stay like, okay, these are my friends, these are my out friends, these are my whatever friends, or just people who love me. Now, don't get me wrong, there's not a lot of people around me. So the people around me who will see this, most likely, the people who are around me, or the people who've been in my life for years, already know I don't have a lot of people around me. But I can tell you what box you go in. I can tell you, I love you, but here you go, over here. I love you, but this is that. So one of those things is just calling a thing a thing. And in terms of doing a process of elimination, you have to know, what are your values? What is it that you value? Because with people, places, and things, like workplace, goals, dreams, all of those things, what you put in your body, all of those things have to do with how you think about yourself, your life, and your future. Okay. I'm giving y'all a lot today, so I hope that you're writing this stuff down, because I'm not actually going over these things with you, but I'm throwing it out there for you. Okay. How do you want your life to be? We're at the top. If you're going by this, I think it's called the Gregorian calendar. We're in America over here. And so we're using this calendar. So we just entered the calendar year of 2026, right? So we're at the top of this new year. So what are you gonna do now? What values do you have now? What character do you want to play in your own life? What role do you want to play? And then what do you have to take off? On yourself, process of elimination. What do I need to remove in me that's not serving me? What do I need to remove in me that may be hurting others? Right? And what do I need to add on? Right? What do I need to add on? Because the things that no longer serve me have to go. But what am I adding on in place of that to serve me properly? To serve the direction that my life is going in, And so that may be like, okay, I'm not going to be out 5 days a week. Maybe I'll go out once a week, because that may not be serving me. Maybe I'm going to stop drinking alcohol, because why am I drinking it anyway? Do y'all ever question why you do what you do? Because we can fall into these behavioral patterns that may not seem bad. It's not so bad. It's just a drink every day, every 2 hours, right? It's not so bad because you're used to it. But do you ever stop and ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I going to have a cigarette break? Why am I, coming home drinking immediately? Why am I not working out? Why am I working myself out so hard when I already look good? Okay. Why do I have to be the prettiest woman in the room all the time? Because those things show you what? It shows you insecurities. It shows you places that may need attention. It shows you shallowness. It shows you a reflection of you by asking yourself, why am I doing this? It's allowing you to have time with you. Okay. I think yesterday my pastor did mention looking yourself in the mirror, but I'm talking about it in this way, okay? In terms of asking yourself why you do certain behaviors that you do is a look at yourself, because now you get to sit with you and go, what are we doing? I don't even know why I do that. You know, I need to stop doing that. What is that serving, right? What is that serving? Because people who want to stop drinking, right? Who do drink but want to lose weight, we might need to pay attention to the fact that we're counterproductive, right? Because we're still drinking and exercising, but we're still drinking and exercising. And, we could do without the other. We could do without the drinking, especially if we're exercising and wanting to lose weight, right? And from that, I just know that there's a bunch of calories in alcohol, okay, as an example. So you have the right to shed your skin. You have the right to change your mind. You have the right to choose a better life, to choose health, to choose strength, to choose joy, peace, love, all the fruit of the spirit, y'all. We have the right to choose those things, which means we're going to die to the other things. We're going to die to the opposite of those things. And it is a process and it requires grace. Okay. And it requires commitment. Okay. We'll get more into that in just a minute. Okay. So again, y'all, if you have not already gotten your books, let me show y'all. If you have not gotten Tea Time Daily Journal, okay, this is the affirmations and inspiration journal that you can use for 30 days. Go to my website, www.stalkyourdestiny.com/shop. I just told y'all last week I did update the website. So check it out. Let me know what you think. Okay. Let me know what you think. But also you can go there. My affirmations used to come from my book, ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny, which is also at that website. Okay. All of my books are at the website. But my food for thought quotes used to come from ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny, which is at www.stalkyourdestiny.com/shop, y'all. And any of the devotionals that I was using on this show, I'm still writing 2 more out of the 12. I still have 2 left to go. And those will be out whenever they do. But any of the 10 that are currently published, you can also grab those copies as well from my website. Now, a new book, I don't remember if I told you all about it, but the ABCs to Stalk Your Financial Destiny. This is my latest publication. This is also written in essay form. I'll read the back for you guys. It says, getting real about your relationship with money is no easy task. This collection of essays will help you not only see your money in a new light, but also allow you to do the work necessary for your future. Identify your learned behaviors and be willing to change them so that you can maximize your opportunities. Go from good to great at managing the money you have and opening yourself to networking and learning more ways to reach your financial destiny. So this is also at www.stalkyourdestiny.com/shop. And actually purchasing this book, with the purchase of this book, you can also, you'll receive information to sign up for my free workshop. Okay. For us to go through this book. It's from A to Z. Again, just like the ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny. This one just focuses on your relationship with your finances. Okay. And so you can go to my website and get either of these books or any of my other books that are listed there as well. So please be sure to head over to stalkyourdestiny.com/shop and check out my books and planners. Also just check out stalkyourdestiny.com at large just to see more of who I am and what I have going on. Okay. So do y'all love this show? I love this show. I love this show. I love coming here and doing this for you guys. I love coming here and doing it for myself because whether you know it or not, I receive something from the show almost every single Monday that we go live. I receive a word myself from it. And so why don't you become a sponsor of the show? Become a sponsor. You can go to www.stalkyourdestiny.com to become a sponsor of the show. Also, you can send me an email if you like at teatimewithtara@gmail.com, and I can send you the link that way as well. But the information to become a sponsor is on the website, also at www.stalkyourdestiny.com. Now, sponsorships start as low as $50 per ad. They go up to about $500 per ad. There are opportunities for a larger amount as well, but the lowest amount in terms of sponsorship can just be as simple as you want to be shouted out at the beginning of the show, and that is $50 just to support um the show. Okay. And so please consider becoming a sponsor. Please consider asking your employer about becoming a sponsor. If you're at work and you love watching this show or listening into the show and you tell your coworkers about it, well, tell your boss about it too and see if they would be interested in a sponsorship, because this show is heard in over 79 countries. And so through bfam1096.com, and also through YouTube, it is global. So please let your boss know, your employer know, or your entrepreneur friends who want just more advertisement, that we do have sponsorship available. You can email me at teatimewithtara@gmail.com or visit my website, stalkyourdestiny.com, and you'll see that information there. Now, if you don't want to be a sponsor, but you do love the show, you show up every Monday at 2, you tell a friend to tell a friend. Thank you so much, by the way, for your continued support. Thank you so much for showing up each week, and for sharing this with somebody as well. So if you just want to donate to the show, you can donate via Cash App at $stalk your destiny. You can donate via Venmo at Stalk Your Destiny, or you can donate via paypal.me/stalk your destiny. To make that easier, if you go to PayPal and you just need to put in where is this going, it's going to stalkyourdestiny@gmail.com. Okay. So consider donating. Again, that's Stalk Your Destiny on Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal if you just want to simply support the show with a donation. Again, if you want to be a sponsor, you or someone you know, an employer, a boss, an entrepreneur friend, please pass on that information. That you can find information at www.stalkyourdestiny.com. We would love to share with the world what you have to offer and who you are, as well. So thank you in advance to my sponsors out there, and thank you in advance to you for the support and donations as well. Okay. And again, y'all can feel free to email me at teatimewithtara@gmail.com. Even if you're emailing just your testimonials, you want to share. If you're not commenting below on these videos, then you can also send me an email of your testimonials of how this show is helping you, or what you think about it. Okay, why you tune in every week? Let me know. I would love to read those emails and respond to them and let you know that I appreciate it. Okay. So our business topic of the week, y'all. Let's see. It's okay to change. Y'all should have guessed it though. It's been very consistent today. It's okay to change is our business topic of the week, y'all. And it's brought to you by Zeal Sweet Flavored Tea, which is made with love. Okay. And so our 2026 word of the year, y'all, for Stalk Your Destiny is transformation. Okay. And it is an acronym. I also wrote down what it meant earlier today, too, but I left that with my other work stuff. So I didn't pull it in with this. So, transformation, y'all. When I think of transformation, I think of how I used to call myself, I think it was like in college, Miss Metamorphosis, right? I think that was like my Facebook name at some point. First, it was like Diamonds and Pearls, or one or the other, first. It was Diamonds and Pearls, and then it was Miss Metamorphosis. Okay. I don't know which one came first, but Miss Metamorphosis, right? Because we're constantly growing, we're constantly changing. And even then, that was 20 years ago for me. Even back then, I was constantly looking at how life changes all the time, how we change all the time, right? And so transformation is the 2026 word of the year for Stalk Your Destiny. Okay. And so I made it an acronym as I do all my word of the year, words of the year. I make them all acronyms. Okay. And so this one says, oh, excuse me. This one says, totally relishing in altruism while navigating strongholds for optimum reliance on my own assertiveness to invite only desired needs and wants. Now, y'all, I know y'all heard extra letters in there. Bear with me, okay? Some words don't matter. Some words are just the action, the added word to make this a sentence, okay? But I separated this in a couple of parts. So I'm going to try to dissect it because I didn't write down why I separated it. But I want to share with you guys what I think this means today. Okay. So totally relishing in altruism while navigating strongholds for optimum reliance on my own assertiveness to invite only desired needs and wants. Okay. And again, this title for this business topic of the week today is It's Okay to Change. It's okay to change. So this says totally relishing in altruism, right? That's the first part. Totally registering and relishing, totally relishing, not registering, totally relishing in altruism. Okay, right? And so truism has to do with benevolence. Really, for me, it means that I'm walking in love purely and wholly. Okay, that everything I do is intentionally to be done with love. I'm doing it with you in mind. I'm doing it with care in mind. I'm doing it with compassion in mind. Okay. And so, although you may do it, whatever you're going to do unto me, I'm going to be true to myself and act in love. Okay. Um, and so, and that's funny too, y'all. Let me reference here because this is it's just it's a funny thought that I just had. Okay. I said I'm gonna act in love, right? Well, I have a video from last year where I say love does what it takes. And on that video, I says love does what it takes, even if that means slapping you in the face. I'm not condoning violence, okay? But I'm just saying, go back and watch that message. Love does what it takes. Go back and watch that message, okay? Because here it says totally relishing in altruism, okay? And so again, this is just me saying what I think about that, and that just means that I'm relishing in love, peace, joy, goodness, kindness, gentleness. Okay, I'm walking out the fruits of the spirit here because I can. I'm choosing to do that, right? Because the next part of this says while navigating strongholds, right? And so, how can you remain, to be altruistic while navigating strongholds? That's a choice, right? That is a choice. Sometimes when you're navigating strongholds, you want to slap somebody in the face. Sometimes you want to say it, okay? And even in wanting to do it or wanting to say it, having self-control, right? Having discipline. The fact that you have so much love in you that you wouldn't do it anyway. You might say it, but when it comes down to it, maybe you just want to pray for that person. When it comes down to it, maybe you just want to, wish them blessings, wish them well, right? And I'm not talking about being oblivious to anything, right? I'm saying that you're relishing in altruism while navigating these things, these strongholds, navigating the people that want to hold you back, navigating the things that people do to hold you back, navigating betrayals, navigating heartbreak, right? Those things can all be strongholds. Navigating, if I do the wrong thing, I can make a lot of money. But if I do the right thing, it's going to take a while before I make a lot of money, right? Being all true, being benevolent, okay? Totally relishing in altruism while navigating strongholds, right? That means that life is not all good, but I'm going to be true to me. Life may not be all good. I'm still going to be who you know me to be. Okay. I'm still going to purpose to walk in love. Okay. And this says the purpose of it. Like, why are you doing this? Okay. Why are you being all true while navigating strongholds? You're doing it for optimum reliance on your own assertiveness. It says optimum reliance on my own assertiveness. What does that mean? Why do I want optimum reliance on my own assertiveness? I want that because number one, you have a voice and it needs to be heard. I don't even think I said that at the beginning of the show. And guess what? Nobody commented either. Did y'all miss it? Did you forget it? You have a voice and it needs to be heard, right? That means that you matter. That means that even though you choose to be altruistic, right? We're totally relishing in altruism, right? Even though you choose to do that while navigating the strongholds, you still matter. So we're doing this for optimum reliance on my own assertiveness, meaning that I can be kind, I can be peaceful, I can even go along with whatever it is you want to do. But the moment I say no, thank you, I mean it. The moment I say no, thank you, I have a right to say no. The moment I say yes to me, I have a right to say yes to me. That's me. It's optimum reliance on my own assertiveness. In my transforming, I have the right to choose me. In my transforming, I have the right to say, sure, I'll spend time with you. Or, hey, do you want to grab a bite to eat? Optimum reliance on my own assertiveness, right? Basically, this is saying be alive in your life, y'all. Be present. Take risks, okay? Do the thing, right? And this says that I'm doing this, right? I'm relishing in altruism while navigating strongholds because life is wishy-washy, okay? While navigating strongholds for optimum reliance on my own assertiveness. Why? To invite only desired needs and wants, right? Because I want to invite that into my life. What I need and want, I want to be open to what I need and want. You can't really be open to what you need and want being hateful, nasty, bad energy, angry, bitter, holding malice in your heart, hateful, all of those things. What good are you inviting in your life? What good are you inviting in your life, really? And I find it amazing that God will have you deal with the very thing you have to speak about. God will have you deal with these type of things. I didn't know what I was talking about today. I mean, I had my outline made in December. And as y'all see, I don't read off of a paper. This is not a speech. I'm literally speaking on whatever God has given me to speak on, right? But what I'm amazed with is that, again, God's word is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. But he will show you, if you're paying attention, you will literally walk through what God wants you to verbalize. That's the testimony. You will literally walk through it and then speak it. Okay? And so totally relishing in altruism, choosing love, choosing joy, choosing goodness, while navigating strongholds, the shit you don't like, okay? For optimal reliance on my own assertiveness, my ability to speak up and speak out for me, my ability to respect you and me, my ability to have a voice and be heard, my ability to change my mind, my ability to transform, right? My ability to eliminate you or that or this out of my life, right? Because I'm getting rid of the old and I invite only what I desire and what I need and want. Okay? To invite only desired needs and wants, y'all. So that is the acronym for the word of the year this year, which is transformation. Totally relishing in altruism while navigating strongholds for optimum reliance on my own assertiveness to invite only desired needs and wants. Why? Because you can. That's why. Okay. You can transform. It's okay to change. You can eliminate those people. You can eliminate those habits. You can decide that, yeah, I did that yesterday and I had a ball while I was doing it. I had an amazing time while I was doing it. But today, I'm going to choose something different for myself. I'm going to choose something better for myself because I want to add core values to my life, or I want to go in this new direction, and it's going to require some cutting. And y'all, there's this thing too. I don't know what this, I wrote down in my notes, y'all, 7 streams. I don't even know what that's about, but I guess I'm gonna get to it. I'll tell you about business changing because this is the business topic. So I'll tell you about business changing in a second. But I guess I'll go in a direction because now I lost where I was going in the first place. I was talking about changing directions. Well, let me go right into the 7 streams then. Changing directions, okay? You have the right to change directions in your life. Because did you guys know that I was a life coach for 10 years? I was a life coach for 10 years. I literally was live on air and told everybody that God, like, I used to be a life coach. That's when God told me. I was live talking to you guys on this show last year, a few months back, and God literally said, I used to be a life coach. And I had to hear me say it because that was not my plan. But God's plan was that I used to be a life coach for 10 years, y'all. 10 years. And so here with these 7 streams is this. Yeah, I used to be a life coach, but that's not all there is to me. And just because you take off one hat doesn't mean you don't have many more, right? Y'all, Stalk Your Destiny. Stalk Your Destiny started before this book started. Stalk Your Destiny literally started with a list of ABCs, okay? Literally with a list of ABCs. Okay, a list of words, 26 words. It started with the fact that we're focusing on identity, direction, and accountability. Why? Because I was in a bad marriage. I was a stay-at-home mother with stair-step babies. Okay, maybe a 2-year-old, probably a 1-year-old, and a newborn, something like that. Okay, when this all started, and God gave me that list of words. Okay, fine. Cool. I needed to know at the time, like I had lost my identity. And I needed to know, God, who am I right now in life, right? Where am I in my life? This was 2015. Where am I in my life? Why am I here? And where am I going? And how will I get there, right? Identity, direction, and accountability. Because I needed those things, God had me start helping other people as well to identify that for themselves. Who are you? Where are you? Where are you going? Okay. And how are you going to get there? Right. So life coaching for 10 years. Before I became a life coach, I was already a published author. Now I'm telling you these things because I'm going to tell you how these streams work. People think that 7 streams, when they think about income, right? This is the business topic. Transformation, right? It's okay to change. People think that 7 streams of income means I have to have 7 side hustles. No, you don't. You can sit with God and he can give you one list of alphabet words. Like, okay, this is mine. He gave me one list of alphabet words and he created an entire platform for it. An entire platform for it. Okay. So from starting with, okay, life coaching, but he had to say, okay, Tara, you were already a published author. That's 1. Then I was a life coach. That's 2. Okay. I mean, it was things in between, but with these 7 streams from one thing. Okay. I was already a published author. Now I'm a life coach. Okay. And then I wrote the book, ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny. Wonderful. Then I created a course from this. A course, right? An in-person study. That's 3. An in-person study from this. Okay. Then I started a podcast in 2021, y'all. The podcast is called Stalk Your Destiny. It's not on YouTube. It's on Spotify. Stalk Your Destiny, okay? Podcast from a list of alphabets, okay? started the Stalk Your Destiny podcast, went on to do Tea Time. This is all out of order, y'all. But Tea Time with Tara. What did I teach in Tea Time with Tara? Because I didn't have devotionals when I started Tea Time with Tara. I had a list of alphabet words. So what did I teach about? I taught about investing in accountability, investing in balance, investing in networking, investing in purpose, routine, trust, understanding, goals, habits, identity, knowledge, right? Tea Time. So that's Tea Time. That's a book. That's a podcast. That's life coaching. That's a course, right? Now this is a mini course as well. And guess what I started on the show? When people come on my show to be a guest on the Tea Time with Tara show, that's another stream. What do I ask them? What do you need on your journey to stalking your destiny? What do you need on your journey to stalking your destiny, right? When I get on here, where were the food for thought quotes coming from? The ABCs to stalk your destiny. Y'all, when they say that you can change your life with one product, God gave me a list of ABCs. ABCs. And I just gave you all the ideas on what you can do with it, with what God gives you. Not only that, now this. Now the ABCs to stalk your financial destiny. Okay? Now that. So what I'm saying is that God is very intentional with you about your personal life, your spiritual life, your emotional life, and your business. And it doesn't have to be as in-depth as mine is. I have all these different gifts and talents. Whatever gifts and talents you have, operate in those. Let God use them. Okay? You have a voice and it needs to be heard too. Does that mean that you need a podcast or a show on YouTube? Maybe not. Does that mean that you might need to speak up at your job? Maybe so. Does that mean you need to lead your team or your company? Perhaps. Does that mean that you need to be a better leader at home? Mother, father, sister, brother, auntie, uncle, whatever? Yeah. Yes. Mind the business that pays you. And mind the business that pays you not only financially, mind the business that pays you emotional health, well-being, happiness, joy, peace, love. Mind the relationships that pay you those things as well. These are streams. Streams, right? And you can have transformation in all of these streams. I could say, okay, I'm no longer a life coach, and I have all these different streams that I can still go forward in. All these different opportunities. You know why? Because I'm totally relishing in altruism. I have always relished in altruism while navigating strongholds. Okay, let me look at this thing. While navigating strongholds, y'all. And I've always optimized reliance on my assertiveness. Okay. And to invite only desired needs and wants. Well, I'm working on that. What do you need for you? What are you working on for you? Okay. And here I wrote, what foundation are you standing on? I'm standing on the word of God. I do all of this because this is what God gave me to do. Y'all, I didn't choose this. I want to be a lawyer since I was in 6th grade. I want to be an attorney. An attorney, y'all. This was God's plan. This is who he called Tara to be. May still be a lawyer, okay? Look me up 10 years from now. I might still be an attorney, okay? I do still desire that, right? But what do you desire for your life? What do you need to change? What transition do you need to make? What transformation in your life has to happen for you to have a foundation that you are proud to stand on? I did a rundown of my things because I am proud of what I've done. I am proud of the lives that I've impacted before you ever knew my name. I was impacting lives. There's people's lives impacted by me I never even heard of before. Because I love what God gave me to do and who God called me to be. It's okay to transform. I'm constantly growing, constantly changing, constantly failing. Okay? Constantly failing, but constantly getting back up, y'all. It's time for transformation in 2026. It's time to be good to you in 2026. And it's time to let that be okay. It's time to let it be okay to love people so much that you leave them right where they are. I love you enough that if you don't want to change, I don't even want you to change. Not by my force. I want you to change when you're ready and when you want to. Because I only want the best for you. And if you feel your choices that you're making today are best for you, I'm going to love you anyway. But I'm going to continue to move forward with my life. And that's what I was going to say. And if God does, y'all, they say we get cut no matter what. One of my friends said that. She's like, we get cut no matter what. Either God's going to prune you or God's going to cut you down. Okay? And that goes for the people who are considered what? Leaves in our lives for seasons, branches in our lives for longer seasons. Okay? You can either grow and produce something. We can grow together and produce something beautiful, no matter what it is, no matter the magnitude of it, or you can be cut off. And yeah, the growing can get rough because it's going to be cuts along the way so that we can keep growing and keep going forward. There are going to be challenges. You're either going to be with me at the end or you're not. But we all have the right to make positive transformation in our lives. Okay? And that is totally relishing in altruism, y'all, while navigating strongholds for optimum reliance on my own assertiveness to invite only desired needs and wants, okay? And remember, with the food for thought quote of the day today, you are allowed to make decisions each and every day about the direction that your life will go. You literally hold the scissors in your hand. You get to make the process of elimination. You get the opportunity to die to sin and live with and for Christ. Okay? Every day. That's not a judgment statement. That's a choice. You get to choose every day. We all sin. We all mess up. We all treat people wrong sometimes. But we want to operate in altruism. We want to choose love. We want to choose the fruit of the Spirit because that's the thing that's going to feed us, keep us healthy, living, and happy and whole. Okay? So think about that. What foundation are you standing on? And understand this. It is okay to change, y'all. That has been my show for today. I am T.R.A. M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership, y'all. This has been Tea Time with Tara, live and on air. I'm live every Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Here we believe you have a voice and it needs to be heard. We focus on business and Bible basics. Again, y'all, if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, because I have way more listeners live than I do subscribers on YouTube, please head over to YouTube at Stalk Your Destiny. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Check out my shorts, check out previous videos, and go back and listen to the show that maybe impacted you the most, y'all. Okay? But remember, again, you have a voice and it needs to be heard. I am T.R.A. M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. I will see y'all next week, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye.
I'm staying focused on what I'm gonna be. I'm making it down, but I won't lose ground. 'Cause I'm still stuck in my destiny. I'm still stuck in my destiny.
Every time it's on everything, the life you choosing, I'm cheddering. No matter the form of the weaponry, gotta keep stalking my destiny. Time's getting worse, I'm bettering. My sin is secure, ain't no tethering. I ain't gonna stop till I rest in peace and they put a hold on my great lettering. Every time, I ain't lay back unless I'm in my 300. Circle is little, cause I keep it 100. Minus my issues, I'm so hard when I'm on it. 100% ain't enough, I get 200. Every time, know what I'ma run from, I'm the one opponent, you I'm from manual van where my strength get pumped from. So let's go ride to the child of God, standing toe to toe, no hot now. The Lord is with me, you can't fight the rock, I got the sauce, you want my high. The destiny mine, I'ma stalk it out. The strength is having, you just bought it out. Your giant carcass, I'ma walk it out. You gon' be wishing that you wouldn't have caught me out. Cause every time be on that throw down, let's get us a showdown. Niggas, someone got another go around, big as they is, so hard they go down. Since destiny something we can't change, but quitting will stop you from great gains. And faith will make capable great things. I done decided to break pain. To call me on my A game, so speed like the A-train. The thing that I'm stalking on, I gotta maintain. All by myself, I don't gang bang. When you wanna get in my crown, then I'm down every time, not just now and then. Yeah, I heard you met your 1,000. what chance
I'm steady chasing, I'm staying focused on what I'm gonna